Hello, everyone. This is Jim Krasinski here with your Week 4 lecture video, and I'll also touch on the annotated bibliography that is due next week on July 9th. One thing I do want to point out in this week's SLE unit is the readings and activities pages and what to focus on for the discussion board number 7. Also, I'd like to point out that I have a link here to the Purdue OWL. If you have any questions or issues about MLA, the requirements for the annotated bibliography, you want to look through the Purdue OWL. It gives you a styling guide and information on how to format citations and works cited pages. Also, there is a citation generator built into Purdue OWL, so you may want to click on and through some of the sections here as a resource for the upcoming activity like the annotated or even a research essay. Okay, so in getting to discussion board 7, I want to really touch on some of the information in the textbook, and I think this is an important section for everybody. When Ballinger talks about the note-taker's triad, whether it's quotation, paraphrase, or summary, it's important to understand exactly what how to work with authors' words is really important for you to understand the difference between paraphrasing, summarizing, and also quoting. Everybody usually tries to move toward quoting more so, and Ballinger provides some context here, like quoting selectively, providing a context which we'll work on later on in the class. The example is always the structure of a quote hamburger and how to provide follow-up and working with quotes. Just don't look for quotes. You must do something with them, interpret, analyze, and how they might be able to help you with your research information. An important idea here is in the previous section, talking about plagiarism. I think everybody should look over and understand what plagiarism is. The idea is how do we mark these paraphrases, summaries, and quotation marks with attribution tags. If it's a quotation, you have to use a quotation mark, and always in in-text citation that we must cross-reference to the works cited page. I think it's important as we move forward to understand how to use source material. So that is the purpose behind discussion board number 7, is to get at understanding of how to go about paraphrasing, summarizing, and also quoting. And we'll work on that as we move forward through this summer semester. Now I want to get back to the weekly module, and I want to talk a bit about the annotated bibliography. And I think it's really important that everybody take the time, please, I urge you to take the time to look at the minimum requirements that are stated here. I'm very clear in my expectations. I provide some really appropriate word counts. You can see that this document will be anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 words is really where your annotated bibliography should be. The 4 categories, Academic Search Ultimate, Internet Sources, Media Sources, and Living Sources, really comprises the important components of the annotated bibliography. As I say in my instructions, 1 or 2 sources from every category should be used here. For example, if you use 6 internet sources, that really lacks the quality of information that you need for your research topic. Understandably then, if it's limited and you're only drawing from one category, then the grade is not going to be appropriate because you are not utilizing or spreading around the other 3 categories. I hope this is clear about how these particular annotated bibliographies will be assessed, is not only on the word count, but also on the structure, the source material, how good your source is. Is it meeting the 4 categories here for criteria in the annotated bibliography? I urge everyone, once again, to take some time and view the instructional video on what an annotation is. If we're tying in discussion board number 7 and understanding what summary might be along with paraphrasing, okay, this is important when building an annotation. So when I say here about introduce the article and author and explain why the source is credible, that should lead off your annotation. And I say it really clear here. In other words, provide some background information, the author's source to identify perspective, credentials, those items. You need to understand how to establish reliability and credibility. And then you have to summarize the author's main point and key supporting points. Now, this is summary. Remember, summary, as stated in the textbook, is a shorter version. Paraphrase, I should say, is a longer version of a section in an article, right? And then you have to tell me exactly how this particular source is relevant and helps you answer your research question. Right? So this is a 3-part annotation process. If you follow this process, along with the opening introduction and the conclusion as stated here, you should have more than enough words to meet the minimum requirement. So be aware of how an annotated bibliography is structured. Once again, I have provided a couple of examples attached to the instruction on what an annotated bibliography should look like. Introduction, citation, MLA citation, and then 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts of the annotation here for the first source. Next, once again, citation. Okay, you can format the citations. I provided links for EasyBib with a video as a way to help you. If you use the databases in the library, there is a submission, a citation tool, I should say, in the library databases. Once again, 3-part annotation here for this particular source. I want to emphasize that if your particular annotated bibliography does not appear or visually look like this, you may have an issue when it comes to assessment, when it comes to grading. I'm very clear in my expectations on what I'm looking for in this particular assignment. Simple hyperlinks will not work. Formatting is important. It's a part of the requirement in the assignment. So I want to make that clear for everybody as we move forward. That should do it for about this week's lecture video. If you have any questions or issues about the annotated or the discussion board, please send me an email. Have a safe holiday weekend. Look for the screencast video somewhere around Sunday evening. Good luck.